Galatasaray just lost to Villarreal 2-1. My cat Minnick, she's so unhappy, just like Serkan. So lots of people think it's time to panic and that Galatasaray is screwed this season.
Don't you
I
think
don't
so?
think so. I think we're going to be totally fine. But Serkan, tell us, why are you so upset? Why are you so panicked?
How many friendly games have you played so far?
4.
And actually 5, right?
Yeah, 5, 4 or 5.
Okay. And we
Not
lost
not 6, 7.
we lost almost 80% of those games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what does that tell you?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
Didn't you see the game that we played today? And you're
Uh,
still hopeful about our future?
do you watch any other sports besides European football?
Sometimes.
All right. Do you watch NFL football, the throw ball?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, so this will be fun. So in 2008, the Detroit Lions went 4-0 in the preseason. What was their 16-game record that year?
I have no idea. You tell me.
0-16. 0-16. They went 4-0 in the preseason, 0-16. Why'd they go 4-0 in the preseason?
Well, we got to look at the historical data. So far, we've played 4 or 5 friendly games,
Well,
and we lost 80% of those games.
You didn't
And
answer my question. Why did the Lions go 4-0 in preseason but lose every game that meant something?
I have no idea. I never watched any of those games.
Because they were playing those games like they were real games. The other teams were playing them like they were tune-up games, bringing players in and out, trying different schemes, trying different things. They weren't playing those games to win. You know why? Because they don't matter. 0. When the Super League starts on next Friday, are we going to be 12, 11 points behind anybody?
But that's not what my point is. That's not what I'm trying to say.
But you're basing all of it off of friendly games, practice games.
If history is any evidence, tells me that we're not going to be super competitive this year.
Tell me why. I'm curious. What have you seen?
I'm looking at the historical data, right? So far we played
5 games.
5 friendly games, and 4 of them or 3 of them were competitive games.
Right.
And we lost them all, except one
Right.
game where we had a draw with that French team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that only tells me one thing. We're not ready. We're not ready to compete in Champions League. Maybe in the Turkish Super League will be fine. But we have no business in the Champions League right now.
Exactly. That's good because the Champions League doesn't start for over a month.
It takes months to get ready for that kind of competition, though.
But no one starts their season practice until late July, and we all start Champions League at the same time. So no one has months. They have about a month and a half. Everyone does.
I wish the transfers were the only problems that we had. We had lots of problems.
Oh, tell me, tell me more.
Well, starting from the midfielders, Lamina, Sara, Torreira, what are they doing?
Well,
what kind of performances have we seen so far?
So this goes to my point. So today, Lamina was not a midfielder. He was in the back. He was playing in the back. So how can you rate what kind of midfielder he is if he's playing on the back 4?
Before the season ended, we had an episode talking about all these problems, right? And we said that Lamina will be a good player on the bench. That's what we agreed on.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're counting him for the first 11.
Are we? It was a practice game.
I'm not. He will be a great backup for as a midfielder or as a defender.
Well, what about Inaga?
How many balls he lost today in the second half? He kind of shined like in the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then what did he do in the last 10 minutes?
So that's what you're going to get with young players. They're going to be just like this.
We're not here to train any players.
We're
not a youth team, or we're not a team in Division 2.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe that you say Well, I mean, we're not ready. We just got to admit that we're not ready, and we need lots of players, lots of energy, lots of changes on the field. So making those transfers won't solve our problems.
So it's okay we're not ready because the season doesn't start for 6 more days. So
Nothing
let's
is
just
going to happen overnight, though. Let's
all
say
right.
that we bring all these players from Porto, from, I don't know, AC Milan. What's going to change? The league is going to start next week.
Okay, so let's see today. Did Urjan start at keeper?
Did we have a goalkeeper problem today?
I'm just asking, did Urjan start? He's our starter. Did he start?
Well, my question is, did we have a goalkeeper problem today?
No. But did he start?
Okay, he didn't start. All right.
Okay. All right. Did Abdul Karim start in his normal position?
We saw how he played in the last game.
I'm
He
just asking a question.
he always starts slow, then he gradually goes up to his top performance.
All right. So what about Davison Sanchez? Did he start today?
He did not.
Right. Jakobs played in his position. He's a left winger or
He's
a
a
left
left
back.
back.
Yeah, he can play wing too. So he played there. So on our back four, you only had Aaron, who's a backup to Jakobs, and Shalai, who starts sometime, depends on Singo. So that's not who starts our games. So Lamina, he wasn't in midfield today. Sara was. Sara played there.
We
don't have a number 10.
Torreira.
Right.
So tell me about Torreira. Did you see the
Oh,
second goal that we conceded today?
yeah, yeah. All right.
He didn't run back to get the ball. And no one talks about him. No one talks about him.
It's a preseason game. Why would he kill himself in a I can't understand it. So look.
That's what he's been doing for the past 5 months. So it's not only today's problem.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say. We seen him making those mistakes last season.
Is it a mistake or is it that he's
well, let's not call them mistakes. Well, eventually it's a mistake, but
is it effort?
Lack of concentration, lack of performance, whatever that you name it.
Okay. I'm just so surprised everybody's up in arms over preseason games.
So Villarreal is going to be in the Champions League, right? It's a Champions League team.
Yeah, they finished third in Spain last year.
Okay. And did you see the differences in quality today? Us versus Villarreal? It's a friendly game. It's
a friendly, yeah. Again, it's hard to judge because they played lots of players. We played lots of players. We played players out of position. So did they. This game was about making sure your players are fit, not running a system.
How many more games does it take to realize that we're lacking in midfield, we're lacking in attackers, we're lacking in defenders?
Oh, so saying that we're lacking in positions because we've made no transfers.
We're lacking in quality players. So quantity versus quality, right? Quality is over. Go ahead.
Yeah. And then saying we're not ready for the season are just two different things. So you don't think that we can go out and beat Coram Football Club?
Chorumspor?
Chorum, yeah. Coram.
That I don't know.
You know?
After seeing today's performance, I cannot say yes or no.
So all right. These are professional players. These aren't young players trying to prove themselves. We have a veteran team. Eunice, 3 years. Barish, 4 years. Osaman, 2 years with us. Before that with Napoli. Torreira, let me go on down the line. Veteran team. They know how to cut it on when the lights come on. They don't need preseason. They need preseason just to get their cardio and legs ready. They're not out there to prove anything. They're the starters. Eunice isn't trying to kill himself to show, oh, I can play at Galatasaray. We know that he can. Torreira's not out there trying to prove anything. He knows he's going to start the season.
So that's why I can
understand. That's why I can't understand why people are freaking out by their performances in a friendly game 6 days before the season starts. It's just
we haven't played.
blows my mind.
We haven't played a single good game since March 2026. Not a single game.
Not one.
We were about to lose the title.
We were.
If Fenerbahce had strikers, we would have lost that title. That's the truth.
But if I had wings, I would fly. But I don't. So I don't.
Summer is coming. Summer is coming.
Summer's here, bud.
No, it's got. You'll see the summer in October.
Summer, October. What's in your cup?
Things are just gonna get worse.
So I know everybody's upset by transfers, and
it's not about the transfers. I'm not here to talk about the transfers. I'm here to talk about
You're not, but all those people that didn't come to the game today, and all those people chanting transfer their narrative, they care about transfers. If you're looking for a shirt to express your feelings, the Transfers Narrative shirt is in the Galatasaray shop, as is our wonderful cups that we are drinking out of. Now, continue to complain.
We got to sort out our internal problems first. Then we can talk about the transfers, right? So the internal problems, the lack of midfielders, the lack of defenders. I'm talking about the quality here, not the quantity here. We have lots of midfielders, but they're not worth anything right now, except the few, maybe.
So we need to get rid of Lamina, Torreira, Anaga, and Big Les.
We should have done this in May, not in August, not in September. We're done with that phase right now. We should have done this a long time ago.
Oh, well, maybe so, but Torreira wasn't going anywhere.
Why not?
Because Galatasaray likes him.
We got the best out of him in the past 4 years,
and he's under contract.
Well, then he should be sitting on the bench.
Well, maybe he will. So, when you talk about your quality, let me just remind everybody of something. All right, so I'm just going to read a little bit here. So today is the 8th of August. In 2022, Ross, Demir, Juan Mata, Akarda, and Rashica all came the 8th of September, a month from now. In 2023, Sanchez came on the 5th of September. Inoble came on the 4th, and Ziyech came on the 19th. In 2024, Jakobs, our starter, came on the 2nd of September, Osimhen on the 4th, and Shalai on the 13th. Last year, Singo on the 8th, Urjan on the 2nd, and Gundogan on the 2nd. So I know that we all would love for the transfers to already be here, but I don't know why we keep thinking that they're going to. We said the same thing last season. As long as we keep Okan at coach and Dorson at president, why do you expect anything different? You say, how the zebra doesn't change its stripes? There's a reason, because it works. So I'll give you an example. Zebras have stripes, right? It doesn't camouflage them in the wild. Why do they evolve that way? Because a lion can't tell one from the other. He doesn't know which one is weak. He can't tell. So researchers were trying to track zebras, so they painted a red stripe on one. It was killed the next day by a lion because he could identify which one he wanted to chase. And so everybody's asking, why aren't we doing it earlier? So let's see. They brought all these transfers in late every day since 2023, and every year we've won the championship. Last year we went to the final 16 of the Champions League doing this. So if you want it to change, one thing needs to happen. We need to have a terrible season this year. We need to be god-awful, finish like 8th, everybody gets fired. Then you might get a president and coach who's going to transfer differently. If you don't want that to happen, you have to hope between now, August 8th, and September the 4th, I believe, that they bring in some bang-bang transfers that pump new life into this team, get everybody excited, and we do great. Those are your only two outcomes. There's nothing in between.
You sound super optimistic.
Oh, no. I just said it could go terribly.
I understand that there's a pattern. but don't we want to do more than the top 8 in the Champions League this year? Isn't that what our goal is?
Yeah, so they're in their minds, the players they bring late will just be better than the ones last year.
We're just looking for bargain transfers. That's what we're after.
No. What they're trying to do, they're trying to find the best player at the best price. They're looking for bargains. Bargains and cheap are two different things. I can buy a cheap car, or I can get a really good deal on a car. One's good, one's not. So I can get a player, just like what we did with Big Les. Big Les was easy to get. Looks like there's a reason, right? These other players that are hard to get, I understand. It takes a while to work on them. You've got to negotiate. They have lots and lots of options. Like everybody's talking Bruno Fernandes, right? That's who we were going to get. No one has signed him. No, he's still out there. Mario Icardi said he could start here. I love Mario, but where is he signed? Anywhere? Nowhere. I follow the transfer news. There's players being signed every day. Every day. So just because we haven't signed the players we want doesn't mean we're not going to sign them. Would I like us to have already signed them? I would. It would make me happier. I would sleep better. Lots of times I go to sleep at night. What's the last thing I think of? I hope in the morning when I wake up and check X and Instagram, we have a midfielder. That's what I do. Every morning I wake up, they're not there. But do I think it's the end of the world? No, because they've done the same thing 4 years in a row and it's always worked. So I'm going to believe in it until it doesn't. And again, it's the preseason. Oh, do you watch basketball? Basketball, NBA basketball?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you know who Allen Iverson is?
Yes.
Huh? Yes. You remember the practice press conference?
Tell me about it.
So Allen Iverson was one of the best players in the NBA, and the coach was criticizing him because he didn't work hard during practice. And Iverson's like, practice? Man, we're talking about practice. You want to talk about practice? Basically saying, I know I'm the best in the NBA. Why am I going to kill myself in practice when I've got an 80-game season I've got to play? And he was right. So it's a long season with Super League games, Champions League game, and Turkish Cup games. Why is Torreira going to kill himself running back on defense August the 8th against Villarreal?
I'm saying he hasn't done it in the past 5 months. So it's not only today.
Might be a little bit of exaggeration.
I'm not. Well, we can ask people.
They've got the comment box, Serkan. They can write whatever they want.
Well,
it's a free world.
I just don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that's what my problem is.
Oh, as soon as you open your phone and you see this number 10 that we've signed, not on a loan deal, but we actually signed them, you'll be so happy.
Well, we always go after loan then buy kind of deals, which I don't understand. It looks like we don't have any money to spend this year. That's what it sounds like. In fact, that was the exact reason why we didn't spend any money in the half season.
Maybe
we were told that we will spend that money in summer.
Maybe our coaches gambled it all away. I don't know. Maybe they had gambling problems. I don't know where it all went. We had a lot. We had lots of money.
Well, I'm going to disagree with what you said. I don't think we should wait until the last minute of the transfer window. I know that that's not what you're saying.
Right, that's not what I'm saying.
That's not a good planning. That's not a good strategy. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, it has worked in the past. It worked last year. It worked the year before last year. I know that it's been working fine, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work this year.
I don't know. Maybe they're letting all their rival teams make their transfers so they can get a better idea of who they want to transfer. I don't know what they're doing. But I've got a hard time. I just have a hard time doubting the administration that's won back-to-back championships. I have a hard time thinking that they've just lost their minds and don't know what to do. That seems nonsensical to me.
Let's say that you're selling a car and I'm the buyer. I want that car so bad, right? And today is the only day that I can buy that car. Would you bargain on the price, or would you do anything on the price? If I ask you to sell me for, I don't know, 10 million, would you sell it for like 5?
No.
Well, that's going to be the AC Milan in September or the end of the August.
Good, because I don't want Rafael Leao anyways. I want Noah Lang.
Well, AC Milan is just an example. It could be in other teams in the world.
It could be, or maybe one of those teams where we want one of their players make a transfer between now and then, which makes that player more available. I don't know. Things like that happen.
That could work for the players that we desire, but that wouldn't work for the players that we need immediately, like number 10. I don't want a bargain deal for a number 10. We've been looking for a number 10 since last year, since Mertens left.
I don't think there are any. I don't think there is any bargain deals for number 10s because there's not very many of them that are very good.
We're interested in that. What's his name? The Porto player.
I believe that is about as far as I can throw somebody.
Well, so far we have 3 players on our transfer list.
So my Turkish media people, I love you. I just don't believe any of you. So Serkan sends me a tweet. We're getting this guy from this Porto deal. I believe this guy.
What's his name?
Either during the game or before the game, more news comes out that, we thought we could get him for this price, but now the price is risen. Just like with Leao. It was going to be 50 million. He's coming. But now it's 60 million. They're just pulling stuff out everywhere.
Rodrigo Mora.
Yeah.
Rodrigo Mora is the guy. He's a hot prospect, so I don't know why Porto is trying to get rid of him.
Because they're probably not. They're probably not, Serkan. And remember, we still got this 10-4 rule. We can't be bringing like foreigners and just. We're not Fenerbahce, you know. We can't just have foreigners everywhere. I don't want to derail the episode, but have Fenerbahce sold anybody?
No, they have like 24 foreign players.
So I think I know what they're doing. I think they kept all those foreign players on their team to be sure they could qualify for the Champions League. And I guarantee you, after this second leg and they get qualified, I bet they start the Cellophane, the Toyota Cellophane is going to start. We're going to start whoop, 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 whoop. Wouldn't you do the same thing?
I will.
If it's a league rule, and so the season hasn't started, why would I sell some of my best players for a league until I qualify for the Champions? I think that's exactly what they're doing. So good job, Fenerbahce.
I don't think you can register 24 foreign players in the Champions League squad. There's a limit for that.
Yeah, but they could register the ones that they wanted, even though that might still be too much for the Super League. In the Champions League, you can start 11 foreigners if you want to. You don't have to start any Turks in the Champions League. And I think all they had was Karam. They had Karam, Mert. Anybody else? Because it was Talisca, Gunduzi, Archie Brown, Fred. It was a foreigner fest out there.
They have a left back, Levent, then a goalkeeper, Mert.
So there was 3.
Right back, Mert.
There were 3 Turks out there. No, he did not start. He came in late. So they had 3. So they had 3 Turks on the field.
We're not ready for the Turkish Super League.
They don't have to be. They have 6 more days to get ready.
So you're going to bring players and get them ready in 6 days? Is that what you're trying to say?
We don't need to. So for these first.
We don't need players.
We need the games to count. Just wait. You're going to be amazed by how differently these players play when the game counts. They're going to be going after balls. They're going to be pressing. Yeah, it's going to be very different.
We can't control the ball in midfield. This has been the case since we started those friendly games.
Right.
You don't see the source of the problem, do you?
You don't need to control the ball in preseason because it doesn't matter. You just need to have fun. Try and get your legs right.
Don't you need to show something, at least to show people that you're ready for the league or the Turkish Cup or something else?
Who, the fans? Why do they care?
I do care. I'm a fan. I want us to win every single game.
I could care less about preseason games. I could care less. I've not made one video with or without you analyzing the performance in a preseason game. I've analyzed things from the game, but not the result, because I don't care, because they don't matter.
So we lost 4 consecutive games. Well, at least we couldn't win any of those.
Right.
Okay. So we've been super consistent on this in our own way, of course. Right. This only tells me one thing, and that thing is that we're not ready.
All right. Tells me something totally different. Tells me it's preseason. And so who cares if you win them or not, because they don't count. What was our record last preseason?
I think we did pretty good compared to this season.
But you don't know, do you?
Well, we had a draw when we played with Lazio. Then we won a couple of games last year. Maybe we lost 1 or 2 games.
Yeah, you know what's maybe because it doesn't matter. It didn't matter. No one cared. When the season started, no one cared. I can tell you how we did in the Champions League, though.
Those friendly games are the indicators, right? Indicators of something.
They're the indicator that you're trying to get ready for the season by having your players run.
We're not getting anywhere with that kind of performance, though.
We're going to be fine.
We're not going to be fine.
So I can't tell you what we did in the preseason, but I can tell you what we did in the Champions League. I know that like the back of my hand. You know why? Because it counted. That matters.
Okay, if you say so.
That's what I think. Tell us what you think. Do you think I'm right? That it's just preseason? It doesn't matter? Because I don't think it does. Or are you like Serkan? Even though it's preseason, how you look in the preseason is a metric you're supposed to measure for how your season is going to happen. It's a predictor of what's going to happen in the season. So tell us what you think. We're 6 days away from the season starting. Oh, and for the first time ever, we've had requests. We're going to do a watch along for the Çorumspor game. So we'll be live on YouTube doing a watch along. So hop in and be a part of it if you want to. It's going to be the first one ever. We'll see how it goes. Any final words, Serkan?
No. Let's see how we play in our first game next Friday.
It's going to be great. Hadi in Büyük Jumbom. Hadi.